hyperspectral imaging is basically cameras that can capture wavelengths outside of that red, green, blue kind of visible spectrum of light. It's useful because different minerals can kind of reflect different, have different signatures basically for reflecting different types of light, different frequencies of light. And using AI, you can process these and use that to kind of pick out, hey, this is, here I'm seeing a lot of the signature for this type of mineral, and here I'm seeing this signature for this different type of mineral. So that AI can kind of work all that out, and the result is that you can get a map that then shows you this is where you have all of these different types of minerals around a site, around a bench, around a muck pile, or even at a higher level around a whole state or something, if you're kind of looking for ways to speed up the exploration process. Separating ore zones using timing in blasting. So a key outcome for metals mines that they're trying to achieve often is to separate different types of ore. So either ore from waste, or an ore with a certain type of mineral from an ore with a different type of mineral. And that really facilitates a lot more of a efficient milling process, basically. So it offers the opportunity to really improve the kind of throughput that you get, reduce the amount of waste as well. So the way to do this ideally is at the blasting phase, stop everything getting mixed up in the first place. If you know that this half of the bench, for example, is high grade and this half of the bench is low grade, time the shot such that you'd probably initiate from the bottom right and the bottom left, and then pull each of those sections apart from each other. The challenge is, I guess, see those middle holes there. They're pretty close to that boundary, so you don't know if you don't have accurate view of kind of where high grade and where low grade is, you might be pulling certain holes in the wrong direction. And that's really what the challenge of this is that the way that it's worked out today, using kind of assay holes, geologists going and working out, okay, here's my doing some basic sampling testing on the bench before you blast, to work out where they think or where they find different grades of ore, for example, and then interpolating between those points. You don't get a very high resolution picture. You just get kind of low resolution picture with interpolations between. And those assumptions, can be right, but they also might not be. You might have high grade kind of only go right up to just past those top holes, and then suddenly it switches to low grade, but you won't know that. Hyperspectral imagery is now, and this is kind of the exciting kind of front of new research, is that kind of hyperspectral imagery has been shown now to be able to detect different kind of ore grades in the bench. So that's kind of using a camera. You can point it at the bench and actually detect, here is exactly where my high grade stops and here's where my low grade starts. So the example workflow for using this would be still capture those assay holes in the first place, the data from those assay holes, because you need to calibrate that hyperspectral model. You'd still capture the kind of the 3D visual model and the hyperspectral model for the bench. You could bring all of that together, and then you'd have and kind of have this very accurate kind of defined view of where your different ore zones are. And you could then use that to adjust your timing to pull different parts of the shot in different directions. So that's how you can use this to really increase your or decrease your dilution rather, making sure that you're separating different types of ore from one another at the very beginning before they get mixed together.